Okay, before we start things off here, yes, I am still fighting a cough, so if there's a lot of edits, that's what's going on. Anyway, here it is, Lego Ninjago. This was a pretty intriguing movie to me, as in this case, I mean, with the previous two Lego movies, you were relying a lot on kind of a pop culture thing. The Lego movie, for example, with everything, with Batman and Superman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all the things involved in there. Let's see, who else? I can't even remember who was all in there. Yeah, and then there's, like I said, this big kind of pop culture motif into that. And obviously the Lego Batman movie is Batman related, and then you had all the villains from other things like the Gremlins and Sauron from Lord of the Rings and Voldemort from Harry Potter. All of that stuff in there, and this one's actually kind of its own entity. I mean, yeah, I know Lego Ninjago is a line of toys, but you know, other than that, though, there's not really anything to bring in, you know, Joe Q public. So this one was going to be kind of a unique sell, and like I said, for the most part, this was a pretty decent little movie. Excuse me. You know, the premise is obviously there is a villain called Gorman who is attacking the island nation of Ninjago on a routine basis. There's actually like a framing device for the movie. It's actually like a kid walks into this sort of Asian curio shop that's run by Jackie Chan, and the kid kind of says he doesn't have any friends or anything like that, and he's carrying this little Lego figure named Lloyd. And Jackie Chan kind of takes it and sort of switches Lloyd, does like a little illusionary magic trick type move, and changes Lloyd into a ninja, and then begins to tell the legend of Ninjago. And the legend is, as I said, a villain named Gorman is attacking the island nation of Ninjago, and it comes to this group of ninja fighters who use these mechs to constantly drive him off. And it turns out that Gorman's son, Lloyd, is actually one of these fighters, though the public and Gorman don't really realize this. Obviously, Lloyd did not grow up with Gorman in his life. He just wanted his dad to actually be part of his life, and not, well, his dad is part of his life, but not in the way everyone thought, not in the way one would normally think. And he has friends, the Fire Ninja, Kai, who's voiced by Michael Pena, the Ice Ninja, Zane, who's voiced by Zachary Woods, the Earth Ninja, Cole, who's voiced by Fred Armisen, the Water Ninja, Nia, who is Kai's sister, and she is voiced by, I think it's Abby Jacobson. I may be wrong on that. If there's a wrong, I'll just put the little correction up here right there. And the Lightning Ninja, voiced by Kai, voiced by Kumail Nanjiani. And Lloyd is voiced by David Franco. And Gorman is voiced by, shoot, who's Gorman again? Lloyd is Dave Franco, and Justin Theroux is Gorman. Sorry about that. Anyway, Lloyd is Gorman's son. He kind of wishes... I mean, Gorman just constantly attacks, and anyway, in real life, though, Lloyd is very much an outcast, except for the ninja group around him. They're all sort of friends, but no one else really seems to like him. The rest of Ninjago does not like him. Like I said, they don't know that he's actually the ninja. Lloyd is the green ninja, and his power is the elemental power of green. Yeah, it's not exactly explained what that is until obviously the end of the film, but we'll get to that. And what happens, like I said, eventually you find out they're trained by Master Wu, who is also voiced by Jackie Chan, and he sort of poo-poos the use of the mechs. He says, look, you guys have elemental ninja powers, you need to be using them, you need to be more in tune with them, you can't just always rely on the mechs. And he points out that he has all these other weapons, including the ultimate weapon, which we find out what that is later. And anyway, the next attack, Gorman, that's the killer from Bones. That's not what I want to talk about. Gorman Gormadon he has this big he builds his own giant mech suit that can actually counterattack several of the ninja attacks. He destroys Lloyd's mech. Lloyd basically then reveals himself as Gormadon's son, to be Gormadon's son, and Gormadon basically is like, so, yeah, okay, you're attacking me. Why are you attacking me? I'm your father. It's like, because you're bad. You know, you've never been a part of my life. Exactly, because, and then Lloyd steals the ultimate weapon, which it turns out is a laser pointer. The laser pointer doesn't do any damage, however, it does summon Meowthra, a giant cat, who then starts attacking all the things in the city that the laser pointer is sitting on. And this starts wreaking a lot of havoc. This allows Gormadon to get control of the laser pointer. Eventually the laser pointer falls from a building and breaks, and Gormadon then basically just takes over Ninjago. Lloyd runs off. All of his friends' mechs are destroyed. There's a lot of distrust. Master Wu says, basically, you have to go get the ultimate weapon now. And that's on the other side of the island through this dangerous forest. And kind of unbeknownst to them, Gormadon actually starts tailing them because there's a... basically, Gormadon wants them, not quite destroy, but he wants basically, you know, like, why does Lloyd hate him? Not understanding, like, because you weren't part of his life. Gormadon is tailing them. There's another subplot in here. Lloyd's mother, Coco, who's voiced by Olivia Munn, is very protective of him, does not know he's a ninja, doesn't want anything bad to happen to him. Gets quite angry with Gormadon because, yeah, Gormadon finds out that, yeah, Lloyd is the Green Ninja, tells her that, and she gets angry because, like, you let him get lost, you know, I don't want anything to do with you. And it's sort of revealed that Coco was also a great ninja fighter at one point, named the was it the Iron Warrior or the Iron Lady Warrior? But yeah, and she met up with Gormadon on the battlefield, and they fell in love, and they were going to set out, and Gormadon wanted to conquer Ninjago, and that made Coco realize, like, that's not the life I want for our son. So she left, and Gormadon was actually willing to change, but for some reason he never did, and that's why Gormadon hates Ninjago so much. Anyway, Gormadon and Master Wu fight each other on this bridge. Master Wu kind of gets thrown from the bridge. He tells the ninjas to stick together no matter what. They kind of reluctantly wind up bringing Gormadon along with them, even though Lloyd insists otherwise. Basically, Gormadon points out that only a true ninja can get the ultimate weapon, and he is also a true ninja. And they fight their way through this forest. They wind up trying to take a shortcut. One of the jokes is they come to the shortcut. One path is the light path, long, arduous, but leads to ultimate enlightenment. And then the shortcut, which may possibly have skeleton warriors. Yeah, Walking Dead skeleton, or undead skeleton warriors. And one of the points out, it says, why does it say possibly? Either they know they're skeleton warriors, or there aren't. And they wind up taking the shortcut, and it turns out it's all of the former generals that Gormadon has fired. It's a running joke through the movie. He fires his generals by tossing them into a volcano and then shooting them out to the other side of the island. And all of these angry former generals basically swarm them. They take Lloyd and Gormadon off. And the other ninjas begin trying to use their actual ninja skills, which they relearn because Zane, who is the ice ninja who's a robot, has, I think it was like 750 gigabytes worth of martial arts movies in his database, which he then beams into all their heads, so they learn ninja moves instantly. Anyway, the other ninjas manage to free Lloyd and Gormadon, and Gormadon actually works together, even teaching Lloyd how to throw, which is another joke in the movie. Lloyd does not know how to throw and or catch because he never learned from his father. So when he throws, it's like it goes bleh. and Lloyd has to teach, Gorman has to teach Lloyd how to throw, and as they're trying to work on escaping, Lloyd gets jumped and he gets knocked from a tower, and he loses an arm, but they manage to put it back in. And then they arrive at the Gorman ancestral home, which is called the House on Rocky Foundations, and it's loose and there's all these earthquakes around it. It's there we kind of learn the backstory of Gorman and Lloyd's mother. And kind of through it all, they find what is the ultimate weapon, which are these these sort of swords that are representations of all of their ninja abilities. You know, ice, water, lightning, earth, excuse me, fire, and green. And it's basically, it's a Lego stand. The green is a tree, and then you put each of the swords on there. Gorman then basically kind of turns on them and takes off with the weapon to throw Meowthra and finally rule Ninjago. Lloyd sort of realizes that the true ultimate weapon is actually the ninja abilities within all of them, and they focus their energies and they fight off everything. They get out of there because the whole place starts collapsing. It's then that Master Wu returns in his airship. He was not dead. They then go to Ninjago, where Gorman has tried to use the ultimate weapon and failed. Meowthra eats him, and it falls onto Lloyd to basically talk Meowthra down and reconnect the family, and reconnect his family, and basically declare peace, not through fighting, but through actual trying to just reach out and connect everything, because green is the color that unites the world, basically. You know, green flows through everything. And so green, and this actually runs a very unique counterpoint to, I think, the Batman Lego movie. You know, Batman, the sort of motif was Batman's character was the denial of family, and then realizing that he needed to accept that he couldn't be alone, that he could not, that he needed help in his war on crime, and that was okay, and it's okay to accept help from other people. To be a loner throughout life is not desirable. Where Lloyd is kind of in the same boat to an extent, but it's more like Lloyd desires the family, openly desires that he wants the family, and that he needs to learn to put his own prejudices aside to accept his father and his mother and his friends for who they are. Excuse me. Sorry. And I kind of forget where I was going with that. Yeah, like I said, but Batman was very much throughout always the denial of family, and Lloyd's more the desire for family. But they both kind of each come to the same conclusion, which is, again, that you have to kind of go through with everything working together. And that is, like I said, and each one does its own way to tell that story, and each one succeeds at telling that story. Through everything, like I said, this was a pretty enjoyable movie. I would say the supporting cast is, outside of Gorman, it's pretty underdeveloped. The other ninjas don't really do anything except make wisecracks throughout everything. Whereas the supporting cast of the Lego Batman movie, and I know I'm kind of comparing the two, but they both came out this year, but the supporting cast was a little bit more robust. Like, each of them actually had a character arc to them. This one, not so much. They're a little wooden, for lack of a better term. Master Wu is okay. Master Wu is actually Lloyd's uncle and Gorman's brother, just for the record. I don't think I mentioned that. But other than that, yeah, there isn't too much there. Like I said, less pop culture-y jokes. I mean, there's a lot of jokes with the music. For example, at one point, Master Wu tries to play some songs to pick everyone up, or to pick up Lloyd, and he plays Hard Knock Life from Annie. And then next time when he's training them, he plays I Got the Power from, oh boy, I can't remember who had that song. But yeah, you know, the I got the power, boom, boom, Yeah, that's the one he plays on his flute. And there's a little bit more of that. There's, instead of Good Morning Ninjago, it's Good Morning America. It's Good Morning Ninjago with Robin Roberts and Michael Strahan. But that's kind of where a lot of that sort of ends. Unlike, say, even Lego Batman or the Lego movie beforehand, which I think was just a lot of pop culture. This one didn't have as much. But like I said, it works as its own story. It works as an enjoyable movie. Kids are probably going to like it. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of there's a lot of jokes. It's not pop culture references, but there are jokes, and I think that makes that a little bit different, but still very much the same. Like I said, my only real complaint is I thought the supporting cast was very underdeveloped, and that's why I'm going to give this one a B. Okay, trailer time now. First off, we have Gnome Alone, which was it was weird. It's a girl moves to a new city, a new home, and she finds that the garden gnomes are sentient and trying to defend the home from these creatures that want to essentially eat everything. And she winds up teaming up with the nerdy kid, even though she wants to be with the popular girls, and it looked very bland. After that, we have The Stray, a movie about a stray dog that winds up getting adopted by a family, and the father, who's a workaholic but has to relearn to connect with his family. And it's said based on a true story. I have no idea. Again, also looked pretty darn bland. After that, we have the My Little Pony movie. I was originally planning to see this, but one, this comes out the same day as Blade Runner 2049, which I also want to see, so that one might get pushed back a week. Also, finances are tight. I've been trying to get a MoviePass membership because I think that would really help, but their website keeps crashing on me every time I try to sign up. It's not helping a lot. Anyway, after that we have The Star, which is the nativity story told from the perspective of the animals in the story. Yeah, that just looked really uncomfortable. After that we have Coco again. We then had a trailer for Olaf's Frozen Adventure, a short that is going to be airing before Coco, which is about Olaf trying to learn Christmas traditions so that Elsa and the other sister from Frozen can have Christmas traditions of their own. Don't know why that necessarily needed its own separate trailer, but okay. And lastly, it's Ferdinand again. John Cena as Ferdinand the Bull. Anyway, the next video up is going to be the No Mercy review for the Raw brand pay-per-view that's being held this weekend. That'll be up on Monday. See you all then. Hey guys, just a reminder, I am on Patreon now at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions. There's a reward tier where you can request for me to review a movie. So if you want to force me to see something like the Emoji Movie, here's your chance.